2, testing. All right, our teams are getting set up on the field for our first qualification match of the season here in the Jackson Pollock League in Central Iowa. So let's meet these teams. Over on the Red Alliance, we have Team 18200, Martinsdale St. Mary's Techno Devils. And their partner is Team 18527, PCM Alchemists from Monroe, Iowa. Over on the Blue Alliance, we have Team 13085, Bionic Dutch from Pella, Iowa. And last but not least, we have Team 22187, A.I.R from West Des Moines. All right, our teams are getting all set up on the field. They've already made it through inspections and everything today, so their robots are good to go. Just getting everything connected so we can get this match started. All right, all 4 robots are ready, so the referees have called for hands off. There we go. And we have rolled a center randomization, so those 4 white pixels on the field are going to stay on those center tape marks. All right, we've gotten our technical difficulties worked out. Looks like we're all set. Red Alliance, are you ready? Awesome. Blue Alliance, are you ready? All right, let's get this match started then. First match of the season in 3, 2, 1. Woo. All right, we have no robots moving out autonomous, but it's still quite early in the season. We're going to just wait for another 20 seconds here. Maybe there's some delays programmed into auto. We're just going to wait and see if anyone moves. I see A.I.R watching their robot very meticulously. They're just waiting to see. Nothing from any of our robots so far in autonomous.
Drivers, pick up your controllers.
That buzzer indicates the end
3, 2, 1.
Teleapp has begun. Teams are now taking manual control of their robots, and I already see all 4 of them moving. Bionic Dutch is wasting no time. They're going for a purple pixel on the backdrop. They've got it on there already. While their alliance partner A.I.R has gone to the wing to grab a yellow pixel. They're also going to the backdrop. They've got this fancy slide mechanism on their robot. Looks like they're going to place it right next to that purple pixel. Already 2 pixels scored for the Blue Alliance. Meanwhile, PCM Alchemists, they might not have an arm, but they are scoring very quickly. They've already pushed 2, make that 3 pixels into the red backstage area. Their alliance partner, Martinsdale St. Mary's Techno Devils, looks like they're also herding one of those white pixels into the backstage area. Meanwhile, we got a collision between A.I.R and PCM Alchemists at the front of the field. Looks like a red piece has fallen off of that Blue Alliance robot. We've also got Bionic Dutch out the front right corner of the field trying to pick up a green pixel. Looks like they're trying to get lined up with it, but they're having a little bit of difficulty doing that. Looks like A.I.R has had a couple pieces fall off their robot, but they're not letting that slow them down. They're still trying to herd a white pixel along, as we've got 45 seconds left into this match. Currently, only 1 point separates both alliances. This is likely going to come down to the endgame period. Looks like Bionic Dutch was successfully able to pick up that pixel for the Blue Alliance. They're going back to the backdrop. And endgame has begun. Teams can now start launching those drones and hanging from the trusses. Looks like Bionic Dutch is trying to place that on top of those 2 pixels. They have created a mosaic since there is 1 pixel of each color. That is worth 10 points. All right, looks like A.I.R might be lining up for a drone launch. Ooh, just a little bit short. Bionic Dutch, successful drone launch, 20 points. And 3, 2, 1. And time is up. Let's give a hand to those teams playing in our first match of the season. It was a bit of a slow start to the match with no robots moving in auto, but they certainly picked up the slack in teleop as we have a mosaic on the Blue Alliance backdrop and 2 robots parked, as well as a 20-point drone launch. We also have a lot of pixels in the backstage for the Red Alliance. All right, the referees have finalized the score. Teams are going to pick up their robots, and let's see that score. Looks like it's going to go to the Blue Alliance. And with a score of 49-8, that concludes our first match of the season. Excellent job to our teams, and we'll start queuing our teams for qualification match 2 next. All right, and our teams are already on the field for qualification match 2. We'll start with the Blue Alliance this time. On the back of the field, we have team 19415 C3 Robotics. And their alliance partner is team 24572 G.O.A.T. Their opponents on the Red Alliance are team 12783 Norwalk RoboWarriors Purple. And lastly is team 24662 West Central Valley from Stewart. Let's give them a hand. All right, looks like we've got all 4 robots on. We're just getting a few last-second setup changes made. Looks like C3 is going to be using the team prop. And the purpose of that is if they are able to use a camera or some other kind of sensor to detect the position of that, they can get bonus points by placing that purple or yellow pixel in the right spot in Autonomous. All right, we have randomized the field. It is a left randomization. So our wonderful field volunteers are going to move those pixels and team props to the left spike mark. And as you can see in the diagram, if they place that yellow pixel on the leftmost side of the backdrop, they can get bonus points. Something I would also like everyone to know, both the teams and the audience, is that the match starts on my go signal. So when I count 3, 2, 1, go, that is when the match will start. If the buzzer does not immediately sound, that is okay. You do not have to wait until the buzzer. We all good? All right. Red Alliance, are you ready? Blue Alliance, are you ready? Come on, Savon, I know you can go louder. There we go. All right, let's get this match started then. In 3, 2, 1, go. All right, C3 Robotics moving in Autonomous. Looks like they're trying to outtake those pixels into the backstage area. Looks like they're now just content to park there. That will score them 5 points. I do not see any of our other robots moving yet in Autonomous, but again, it is very early in the season. We're just going to wait for these last 5 seconds before the auto period ends and we transition to teleop.
Drivers, pick up your controllers. 3, 2, 1.
All right, 2 minutes left in this match as we enter teleop. I already see all 4 robots moving once again. I see West Central Valley. They've got a big sweeper on their robot. Looks like they're using that to push the pixels into the backstage. They've already got one in there. That will net them 1 point for this match. Looks like on the other alliance, they're trying not to be outdone. G.O.A.T is pushing a pixel into the backstage as well. Their partner C3 also has a few in there. Already 5 pixels in the blue backstage. Norwalk RoboWarriors Purple navigating under the stage door. They have to have a very short robot to do that. Looks like they're going over to their alliance's wing to try to get another pixel with their claw. Meanwhile, C3 Robotics spits out another pixel into the backstage area. They've got a very effective round intake system that allows them to pick up those pixels easily. Looks like G.O.A.T is paused there on the back of the field for a second, but they're going back to the front to go get more pixels, while their alliance partner C3 Robotics spits out even more pixels into that backstage. There are already 8, looks like 9 pixels in the backstage. We've got about 50 seconds left in this match. Looks like it is a pushing battle to see who can get the most pixels into the backstage. Norwalk RoboWarriors taking their time at the front of the field, trying to pick up a pixel with that claw. Looks like they're slowly getting lined up to it, but they're getting kind of stuck on the wall. Meanwhile, their alliance partner, West Central Valley, they've scooped up another pixel. They're trying to drag it back to the backstage as we enter the end game. Doesn't look like we're going to be attempting any drone launches during this end game period, but we might see a hang. We're just going to have to wait and see. Looks like G.O.A.T has pushed even more pixels to the Blue Alliance backstage. It's getting quite full back there as we have only 10 seconds left in this match. C3 is going for a couple last-second pixels, getting a little caught up on the trusses on their way there. They spit out 2 more. Looks like they're content to park as we end this match. Let's give a hand to those teams. We almost saw a successful hang attempt by team 12783, Norwalk RoboWarriors Purple. Looks like they just couldn't get off the ground in time. The Blue Alliance might not have been able to place pixels on the backstage, but they were not slouching at all in this match. There are 17 pixels in that backstage area. Excellent show of driving and control of game elements by the Blue Alliance. Our referees are finalizing the scores, making sure that there are no penalties assessed in this match, and that all of the scores have been properly tallied. We want all these teams getting the points they deserve. And just so everyone knows, we will be taking a 5-minute break after this match, as we do have some teams playing in back-to-back matches. We want to give them time to take their robots back to their pit, fix any issues that they might need to, replace batteries, and then come back to the field. So the field will be empty for just a few minutes, and then we'll get back to all the action in qualification match number 3. All right, referees have given the all good signal. Teams are entering the field, picking up their robots. As we see the score, looks like this close match is going to go to the Red Alliance. And with a score of 42-38, the Red Alliance squeaks out the match. A crucial 30-point penalty, giving those points to the Red Alliance, is what made the difference here. Can I have a member from C3 Robotics please return to the field to get their team prop? Thank you. All right, our brief break is already over, and our 4 teams are on the field for qualification match 3. This time we'll go back to starting with the Red Alliance, where we have team 12783 Norwalk RoboWarriors purple. And their alliance partner is team 13085 the Bionic Dutch. Their opponents representing the Blue Alliance are teams 18527 PCM Alchemists. And last but not least, team 24572 G.O.A.T. Looks like we've got all 4 teams getting done set up. All right, referees are calling for hands off. We're going to go ahead and randomize this field. And it is a center randomization, so those pixels can stay right where they are, and we'll see if any teams can place a yellow pixel in the middle of the backdrop. All right, looks like we're all set. Red Alliance, are you ready? Blue Alliance, are you ready? All right, then let's get this match started. In 3, 2, 1, go. All right, no movement in this autonomous period. That's okay, we'll just take a 20-second break as we wait for the teleoperated period.
Drivers, pick up your controllers.
All right, now is where the action's really going to begin. We've seen some great teleop scores happening today. Let's see what happens in this match. Bionic Dutch immediately speeding over to the backdrop. They've got a purple pixel already preloaded in their robot. They're going to place that onto the backdrop. That's going to net them 3 points for this match. Meanwhile, on the Blue Alliance, trying not to be outdone, the PCM Alchemists have pushed 2 pixels into the backstage. Those are worth 1 point each. Not worth quite as many points as the backdrop, but if you can do it quick, it's a great way to get a lot of points. Bionic Dutch trying to pick up a pixel from their wing. Looks like they've sucked it in with those grippy green wheels. Their alliance partner, Norwalk RoboWarriors, looks like they're trying to push a pixel into the backstage area. They might be having some issues with that claw mechanism on their robot. We'll have to see. Meanwhile, G.O.A.T just pushed some more pixels into the Blue Alliance backstage. The Blue Alliance might not be able to place on the backdrop, but they are making sure that they are still in this match, as they are very good at pushing those pixels around. Looks like Bionic Dutch trying to get a grip on a green pixel there towards the front left corner of the field. They're close, but it's just so hard to pick up. Such a uniquely shaped game element. We're approaching 45 seconds left in this match, which means only 15 seconds till the end game. Bionic Dutch has got that pixel now. Looks like they're going to go ahead and try to place that on the backdrop. They're going for it. They're going to try to drop that down right next to that purple pixel. If they have time, they might be able to complete a mosaic as we enter the end game. Let's see if Norwalk RoboWarriors can get that hanging mechanism going. They attempted it last match, but they just ran out of time. Looks like it's going up. While the Blue Alliance continues to push pixels into the backstage, Bionic Dutch's drone unfortunately gets stuck. They're now just going to go park in the backstage while their alliance partner, Norwalk RoboWarriors, has successfully hung from the rigging. And 3, 2, 1. And that is going to end this match. 2 blue robots parked in the backstage, 1 robot in the red backstage, and 1 successfully suspended from the rigging. Awesome job by both alliances. Now, I might note that hanging from the rigging is worth 20 points. And looks like that might have turned the tide of this match. We're going to have to wait and see for what the referees deem the final score. All right, looks like we've already got the score for that match. That was pretty fast thanks to our volunteers. This match goes to the Red Alliance with that 20-point hang being the difference. Awesome job by both of our alliances. We're already seeing a lot of big accomplishments here in this first meet of the season. All right, our 4 robots for qualification match 4 are already setting up on the field. We've already seen these teams today once before, but let's meet them again. We'll start with the Blue Alliance this time, where we have team 18200, Martinsdale St. Mary's Techno Devils. And their partner on the back of the field is team 19415, C3 Robotics. Their opponents on the Red Alliance are teams 24662, West Central Valley. Let's give them a round. Come on. And their alliance partner is team 22187, A.I.R. Our wonderful team of volunteers is helping these teams get set up. These volunteers are truly what makes this event happen. They turn out to our events almost every weekend. We could not do this without them, so please give them a big round of applause. All right, looks like we've now got all 4 robots connected and set up for the start of this match. All right, we made just a little adjustment there on the Red Alliance. Robots do have to start touching the field perimeter wall. And they must start in those 4 tiles that they are currently all sitting in. Looks like we've randomized the field. We've gotten a right randomization for, I believe, the first time today. Those white pixels on the field, which are used for vision purposes, are going to that right spike mark. We'll see if those teams can do anything in auto by placing those pixels on the right side of the backdrop. All right, looks like we are all set for this match. Red Alliance, are you ready? Blue Alliance, are you ready? Then let's begin the match in 3, 2, 1, go. Buzzer has sounded. We've got 1 robot moving out autonomous. C3 once again spitting out 2 pixels into the backstage and parking. That will net them 1 point for each pixel and a healthy 5 points for being in the backstage area. A nice job by C3 Robotics. As we've quickly learned in this game, though, penalties and big scoring achievements can turn the tide of a match very quickly. So this is anybody's match right now.
Drivers, pick up your controllers. 3, 2, 1.
As Toyota begins, I see 3 of our 4 robots shooting off to the races. They're going to be scrambling for those pixels, trying to get them up onto the backdrop and into the taped-off backstage areas. Looks like Martinsdale St. Mary's is having some technical issues. Looks like we've got one of our awesome volunteers going over to help them out, seeing if they can get that robot reconnected. We've got West Central Valley using that giant cone, or excuse me, pixel sweeper to try to push some pixels into the backstage, net them some big points. C3 Robotics using that rounded intake system, trying to suck up pixels and spit them out. Looks like they've got 2 in the backstage. They were very good at that in their first match. We'll have to see if they can keep that up. Our volunteers have gotten Martinsdale St. Mary's back in this game, so this is going to be a very close match with all 4 robots moving and scoring pixels. Looks like West Central Valley has single-handedly been able to score now 3 pixels in the backstage. Meanwhile, their alliance partner A.I.R taking some extra time at the front of the field to pick up that pixel with their claw. Looks like they're going to go towards the backstage, try to get that pixel up on the backdrop. And again, pixels on the backdrop are worth 3 points compared to only 1 in the backstage. So get enough pixels on that backdrop, and it's going to be a lot easier to rack up points. C3 Robotics says, we don't need to place them on the backdrop. We're good enough at the backstage. They've already spit out, looks like, around 10 pixels into that backstage area as we enter the end game. I see 1 drone on a robot in this match. We'll have to see if that gets launched or not. We've got less than 20 seconds to go here, so we're beginning to run out of time. All right. Looks like we've got a bit of collision going on at the front of the field. Looks like A.I.R is trying to return to the back of the field. C3 trying to get back as well. Spit out a few last-second pixels. We've only got a couple seconds left. Time is up. That is the end of the match. Excellent job to our teams. A lot more pixel scoring in the backstage area by both of our alliances. Give them a round of applause. This match is going to be very close. We've got 2 Red Alliance robots parked in the backstage, but only 1 on the Blue Alliance. However, they have quite a few pixels in that backstage area. Looks like well over a dozen. There's also 1 pixel on the Red Alliance backstage. I'm not sure how this one's going to play out, but I would venture to guess that it's very close. Looks like this delay is over a discussion of a possible penalty. I'm not sure what that's for right now, but we're just going to have to wait and see if that affects the score of this match. With how close it was, this could play a big part in deciding who the winner of this match is. All right, and we've got the score up on the big screen. It looks like this one is going to go to the Blue Alliance. With a score of 59 to 18, pushing those pixels into the backstage proves crucial for the Alliance's victory. Great job to all 4 of our teams playing in qualification match 4. And just like after qualification match 2, we will have a 5-minute break starting right now, giving our teams that are in qualification match 5 and playing back-to-back matches some extra time to fix up their robots, maybe change out the battery, and get themselves prepared to get back on the field. It also gives our volunteers time to eat some lunch, but that's not why we get a break. All right, that concludes our 5-minute break. Our teams are already setting up on the field for this match. I've got the feeling we're in for a good one. I see drone launchers on both alliances. We'll have to see what happens here. This time, we'll start back on the Blue Alliance, where we have Team 13085 Bionic Dutch from Pella, Iowa. And their alliance partners, the rookie team from Stewart, Iowa, is Team 24662 West Central Valley. Over on the Red Alliance, on the back of the field, we have Team 22187 A.I.R from West Des Moines, Iowa. And last but not least, we have Team 12783 Norwalk RoboWarriors Purple from Norwalk, Iowa. Obviously, every season the FTC game is wildly different, and this year is much, much different from last year's game. Last year's game, as some of you might remember, there were a bunch of yellow poles sticking out of the field, and the game elements were cones that had to be placed on top of them. Overall, it was a fairly repetitive challenge, as that was the main task for teams. This year, we have a lot of different tasks. Teams can be placing those pixels both on the backdrop and in the backstage area, as well as launching those drones, which are paper airplanes, as well as hanging from the rigging, which are those red poles and blue poles that you see in the center of the field. Teams also have to think about the height of their robots, whether they want to be able to fit under those yellow poles or not. Definitely a harder game, I would think, from a robot design standpoint, but these teams have conquered that issue pretty well so far today, so I'm excited to see what they come up with throughout the season and how their designs evolve. All right, doing some last-minute robot fixes just to make sure all of our robots comply with the rules. FTC teams do get a lot of freedom in how they build their robots, but there are some rules that they do have to abide by, such as having their team numbers at least on two sides of the robot, as well as those blue circles and red squares that signify which alliance they're on. Looks like all 4 of our teams are ready now. Referees are given the signal to randomize. We're going to get a right randomization. Our wonderful team of referees and other volunteers are moving those pixels to the right spike mark. Again, that's that piece of tape. That means teams can place those yellow pixels on the right side of the backdrop as shown in the drawing. They can also place that purple pixel on the right spike mark for bonus points. All right, our teams are set. Red Alliance. All right, Red Alliance, are you ready? Blue Alliance, are you ready? All right, our score trackers are also ready, so let's begin qualification match 5 in 3, 2, 1, go. All right. No movement autonomous for this match. That's all right. Teams are probably thinking about their strategies already for teleop, where their robots are going to go, what pixels they're going to try to pick up, and what kind of scoring they're going to be doing. I'm sure there's a lot of strategy discussion going on between these teams back in the pits. 5 seconds left in the autonomous period. Looks like we're not going to see any motion in this match. That's okay. I'm sure teleop will tell a much different story.
Pick up your controllers. 3, 2, 1.
And just like that, I see 4 robots zoom forward. Bionic Dutch, just like they've done every match, is zooming to the backstage, immediately placing that purple pixel on the backdrop. They've definitely been one of the most efficient teams at getting to that backdrop and getting pixels on it. Looks like A.I.R's in their alliance wing. They're at the front of the field. They're trying to pick up maybe a yellow pixel to place on their backstage, while their alliance partner, Norwalk RoboWarriors Purple, might be trying to pick up a white pixel there off the spike mark. Looks like their claw's opening up. They're just trying to get a grip on it. Almost got it. We'll have to see if they're able to do that or not. Over on the Blue Alliance, trying not to be outdone, we've got West Central Valley using that awesome pixel sweeper, trying to drag those pixels back into the backstage as Norwalk places a pixel on the backdrop for the first time today. Looks like they're going to head back towards the front of the field and go for even more pixels. Blue Alliance, though, Bionic Dutch, they've managed to pick up another pixel. They're going to place that up on the backdrop, maybe going for a mosaic, and they've got it. A mosaic is when a team has 3 pixels in a triangle that are either all the same color or one of each color, and white pixels do not count. That's going to net them 10 points. That could be huge in this match as we only have 40 seconds left. Looks like we've got a little bit of a collision between our Red Alliance robots, trying to figure out who's going to score and when. Looks like they're getting things worked out. Endgame has begun. We might start seeing drone launches and hang attempts. Unfortunately, Bionic Dutch has knocked off that mosaic, but they did get another pixel on the backdrop in the process. I see Red Alliance going for a drone launch. Ooh, just short as Blue Alliance gets a 20-point launch. However, that's being matched by the Red Alliance's 20-point suspension from the rigging. Looks like the other Red Alliance robot is content to park. Both Blue Alliance robots have parked. Looks like scoring's done for this match. As the buzzer sounds, controllers down. A very exciting match with a lot of different methods of scoring. Very fun match very early here in the season. For the second time today, we've already seen a successful drone launch. As you can see, there are 3 different zones there at the front of the field. And you might think that it's worth more points the further you get from the field, but it is the opposite. The zone closest to the field, between the field wall and that first line of white tape, is worth 30 points. The next one is worth 20 points. The one after that, 10. And after that, 0. So teams have to be very precise with how they're launching those drones, which makes it a very difficult task. As you probably saw, Team A.I.R tried to launch that pinkish-red drone over the wall, and it just barely got short. If that had gotten over, though, I'm sure that would have been 30 points, which would have been huge. I can tell they've definitely put a lot of work into that drone launching mechanism. Looks like we're having a brief discussion of the rules. Today is more important about all the teams just getting their robots out there, testing new designs, and learning about the rules. This is only a scrimmage, so it does not count towards their league ranking for this season. All right, looks like the score is up. Everyone turn your eyes to the board as this match goes to the Red Alliance with a score of, 40-39. 1 point makes the difference in this match. Looks like a 10-point minor penalty is what turned the tide of this match from the Blue Alliance to the Red Alliance. Only 5 matches into the season here in the Pollock League, and we've seen a number of close matches. Makes me really excited to see what's in store for the rest of this season. Our teams have wasted no time getting set up on the field for qualification match 6. They are rearing and ready to go. I'll start with the Blue Alliance this time, where we have team 18200 Martinsdale St. Mary's Techno Devils. And their alliance partner there on the back of the field is team 24572 G.O.A.T. Over on the Red Alliance, their opponents are team 18527 PCM Alchemists. And lastly, we have team 19415 C3 Robotics. Looks like our teams are doing their final preparations. They are allowed to preload up to 1 purple pixel and 1 yellow pixel in their robot. They can either score those in the autonomous period or save them for the teleop. Either way, it can make it a lot easier to start scoring instead of having to go pick up those pixels manually when the match starts. Looks like our teams are finishing up connecting those controllers to their driver hub devices, which then connect via Wi-Fi to their robots. Looks like we're just finishing up over on the Red Alliance. Sometimes they do cause issues. All right, looks like all 4 of our teams are set up. Referees are calling for randomization, which is going to be the right this time. Don't think we're going to see any placing on the backdrop today. Not quite yet, but that could change. All right. Looks like all of our teams are set. Red Alliance, are you ready? Blue Alliance, are you ready? Then let's go ahead and start the match in 3, 2, 1, go. And hey, this time we've got 2 robots moving autonomous. Looks like G.O.A.T has parked in the blue backstage. That's going to be 5 points. C3 has also parked in the red backstage. They've also spit out 2 pixels. That'll net them a couple extra points here in the autonomous and teleoperated periods. Looks like both teams set up at the front of the field are content to park for now.
Drivers, pick up your controllers. 3, 2, 1.
All right, autonomous has ended. I see 2 robots moving, 1 on each alliance. Make that 3. Looks like we're waiting for movement from G.O.A.T. Looks like they're reconnecting their controllers. PCM immediately lurches forward, pushes a couple pixels into that backstage. There's already 4 pixels in the red backstage. Make that 6 with 2 more added by C3 Robotics. Blue Alliance, though, is keeping pace. They've got 2 in the blue backstage. And looks like Martinsdale St. Mary's is trying to pick up a pixel. Looks like they're going to go for the backdrop. Rolling over those pixels is Martinsdale, and they've got one on the backdrop. Excellent job by these teams in this match. Red Alliance robot C3 Robotics spits out 2 more pixels into the backstage. They're not placed on the backdrop just yet, but their ability to spit out those pixels into the backstage is quite impressive. A lot of collisions between these robots there at the front of the field. Those metal trusses in the center of the field make it a lot harder to get around, so teams have to communicate well with both their partners and predict where their opponents are going to go. G.O.A.T has pushed another pixel into the Blue Alliance backstage. Looks like PCM got caught up on the trusses a little bit there at the front of the field, but they've broken free. They're trying to herd 2 more pixels over to the Red Alliance backstage, which is already getting quite full. Both of those robots are very efficient at pushing into the backstage. All right, endgame has begun. 2 more pixels into the backstage by C3 as PCM goes for another. Looks like G.O.A.T and Martinsdale trying to communicate there at the front right corner of the field on who's going to be placing those pixels where. Looks like we might have a hang attempt by Martinsdale. They've sprung that linear actuator up. It's raising up. We're going to run out of time here. Let's see if they're able to get up. And not quite. That is the end of this match. Once again, a lot of pixels in that red backstage. We've had some really efficient robots at doing that task today. So wonderful job by these teams so far this season. I believe our previous record for pixels in the backstage was 17, but that was broken in this match with 18. Do I have any takers in the audience that can be broken again before this day is over? Yeah, it looks like we've got some believers that that's going to be higher by the end of today. We'll just have to wait and see. I certainly hope so. I bet we could see 19, 20, maybe even more. Once again, if these teams need to, since we have some teams playing in both qualification match 6 and qualification match 7, we might have them taking a break for 5 minutes to get their robots ready if they choose to do so. If they do not, we'll go right into the next match. I'm not exactly sure what's being discussed amongst our volunteers, but I believe there might be penalties on both sides here. Not sure how that will affect the result. We're about to find out. Looks like this one will go to the Red Alliance with a score of 59-46. Looks like we had 30 points worth of penalties on both alliances. So those offset, and it went to the Red Alliance, thanks to their ability to spit those pixels into the backstage area. Again, if our teams need to, we will be taking a 5-minute break before qualification match 7, and then we'll be back to all of our action as we enter the second half of today's event. All right, all 4 of our teams are already set up on the field. We've got it randomized. We've got Team 24662 and Teams 24572 on the Red Alliance. Those are West Central Valley and G.O.A.T. And over on the Blue Alliance, we have Teams 22187 and 18527. That is A.I.R and the PCM Alchemists. All right, all 4 of our teams are already set up. Our referees are ready. Red Alliance, are you ready? Blue Alliance, are you ready? Then let's begin the match in 3, 2, 1, go. One robot moving in autonomous. Looks like G.O.A.T's going to successfully park in the backstage area. That's going to net them 5 points for this match, putting the Red Alliance with an early lead. To qualify as parked in the backstage, a robot only has to cross either that red or blue tape line. They do not have to be completely in the backstage area. So G.O.A.T over there on the right side of the field is qualified as parked.
Drivers, pick up your controllers. 3, 2, 1.
All right, all 4 teams already have their controllers going. 4 robots off to the races. PCM Alchemists first to score in the teleop period by pushing 2 pixels into the backstage and getting a third very quickly. They've got some very efficient driving going on here in this match. Red Alliance isn't being outdone either, though. They've pushed a purple pixel into the backstage. I might note that when they are being put in the backstage, there is no difference in scoring between the white pixels and the colored pixels. They are all worth the same value. Looks like Team A.I.R has been able to pick up a yellow pixel with that claw. They're getting a little caught up on the trusses. Again, I'll mention that those are very hard to get around. They've broken free, though, and they've got a yellow pixel on the Red Alliance backdrop. That's going to net them 3 points in this match. A lot of pushing going on by the Blue Alliance. PCM Alchemists have put 4 pixels, actually make that 5, in the Blue Alliance backstage. And they're going for more up there at the front of the field. Looks like they're getting caught up a little bit on those pixels. Since they're so short, they are a little hard to maneuver around the field. Sometimes you can drive up on them, but they aren't letting that stop them. Looks like A.I.R might have placed that pixel on the wrong backdrop earlier on, which actually gave points to the Red Alliance. Now they've got one on the right backdrop, though. So those are going to effectively cancel out as we enter the end game. A lot of pixels in both backstages. West Central Valley. Looks like they're pushing 2 more into the red backstage. That could be crucial in this very close match. Maybe we'll see a drone launch out of A.I.R. Looks like they're backing up. We're just going to have to wait and see. And, ooh, just a little too strong on that one. Very good launch, though. Got over the field wall successfully. We've only got a few seconds left. And 1 second left. And that is the end of qualification match 7. With every match so far today, I've seen these teams get a lot better with driving and pushing those pixels around. Looks like we have 8 in the Red Alliance backstage and 7 in the Blue Alliance backstage. This match is definitely going to be another close one. We've had quite a few of those today. Come back here and you can see it. In that match, we had 1 pixel placed on each alliance backdrop, but oddly enough, they were placed by the same team. Looks like the drivers might have gotten just a little misoriented. They placed 1 on both alliance. They're trying to spread those pixels around, share the love. Gonna make this a very close match. All right, scores are in. And looks like this close match is going to go to the Red Alliance with a score of 36-22. Looks like that was another close one. Autonomous and a minor penalty on the Blue Alliance making the difference there. Talk to Emma. She won't bite you. Yeah, she won't bite you guys.
She's the nicest person in the planet.
Ah,
There is
but
not
don't
a,
be scared.
there is not a mean bone in her body.
Hey, Red Alliance, Bionic Dutch, Martinsville. You guys are good to go.
Realistically, due for a pay raise.
I think so. Like, we're just not rewarding the volunteer stuff. I just have some pizza next to it. All right, we've got 4 robots once again setting up on the field for qualification match 8. Looks like we've got a lot of awesome looking robots, a lot of different designs so far that I've seen this season. Got the feeling that as we progress throughout the year, we're going to have even more designs. Every year, it's always fun to see what teams are able to come up with to solve this year's challenges. You guys have met them before, but let's start off with the Red Alliance, where we have team 13085 Bionic Dutch. And their alliance partner is team 18200 Martinsdale St. Mary's Techno Devils. Over on the Blue Alliance, we have team 12783 Norwalk RoboWarriors Purple. And their alliance partner is team 19415 C3 Robotics. All 4 of our teams are already set up. The referees have called for hands off, meaning teams are not allowed to touch those controllers or driver hub devices. We've got a left randomization. Maybe this match we'll see some scoring on those backdrops during the autonomous period. All right, our volunteers are out of the field. Red Alliance, are you ready? Blue Alliance, are you ready? Then let's begin the match in 3, 2, 1, go. Buzzer has sounded. We've got 1 robot moving autonomous. C3 like they've done all day, parking in the backstage and spitting out a purple and a yellow pixel. I'm sure we'll be very shocked to see, or not very shocked to see the progress these teams make in the autonomous period between now and next week's league meet down in Norwalk. If you're not planning on being there, I highly recommend you come. We're going to have even more teams there. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Drivers, pick up your controllers. 3, 2, 1.
And teleop has begun. I'm seeing a lot of recurring themes today, like Bionic Dutch's ability to immediately get to the backdrop and place that purple pixel. Another one of those themes I'm talking about is C3's ability to spit out those pixels into the backstage. The season's only been going for about a month and a half, but they've already made a great robot that's very good at what it does, so hands off to them. Looks like their alliance partner, Norwalk RoboWarriors, placing a pixel on the backdrop. That's going to net their alliance 3 points. Already a lot of scoring going on in this match. I've got the feeling we're in for yet another close one. Bionic Dutch just barely dropping a pixel there next to the backdrop. That is still in the backstage, though, so that's still going to give them some points. Looks like their alliance partner, Team 18200, is stuck on a pixel. They're high-centered. Now they're off of it. They're going to take those 2 pixels and push them into the backstage. 2 more points for the Red Alliance. C3 Robotics, though, that giant robot flying across the field. They've already looks like they've already got 8 or 9 pixels in the blue backstage. And there go 2 more. We've got about 45 seconds left in this match. And right now it's neck and neck. 2 pixels on each backdrop, quite a few in each backstage. Whatever happens in endgame will definitely turn the tide of this match. Norwalk RoboWarriors has yet another pixel. They've done really well in this match at picking those up and placing another on the backdrop as we enter the endgame. I see that linear actuator going up for Norwalk. Looks like we've got some collisions underneath the trusses as we've got teams going to hang. Martinsdale St. Mary's Techno Devils places another on the backdrop as Bionic Dutch just misses that drone launch. Got a little misoriented. Norwalk RoboWarriors suspending off the Blue Alliance rigging as their partner spits out a couple more last-second pixels. Both Red Alliance Robot content to park as this match concludes. Another excellent match by all 4 of our teams. All drivers, please put your controllers down. Controllers down. Definitely the most scoring on the backdrops we've seen so far today. 3 pixels by each alliance. C3 doing what they do best, getting a lot of those pixels in the backstage area. Looks like they fell 1 short of their record of 18. They've got, I believe, 17 in there right now, if I'm counting correctly. Maybe 18? I don't know. Looks like they do have 18, if my counting is correct. We'll have to see. All right, the score of the match. Blue Alliance is going to take this one with a score of 93-22. That is a high score for today. Excellent job by the Blue Alliance. A very well-balanced, autonomous, driver-controlled, and endgame period, scoring in all 3 sections of the match. And once again, we do have a 5-minute break scheduled, as we do have Norwalk RoboWarriors Purple and C3 Robotics playing in back-to-back matches. If they so desire, we'll take that 5-minute break, give them a little time to get to their senses, get those robots fixed up, and ready to go. Then we'll get back to qualification match 9. sweaty.
Give us your-
Name's
yeah.
weak. Arms are
Ben,
heavy.
give us
There's
your
vomit
best,
on his
best
sweater
freestyle
already.
right now. Like,
Mouth sweet.
hey, hey, you guys should be just as nervous. You guys are competing next.
All right, all four of our teams have already gotten set up. Over on the Red Alliance, we have team 22187 A.I.R. And their alliance partner, the Pixel Spitting Machine, is team 19415 C3 Robotics. Over on the Blue Alliance, we have team 12783 Norwalk RoboWarriors Purple. And their alliance partner is team 18527 PCM Alchemists. All right. Field has been randomized to left randomization. Teams are going to be going for the left side of that backdrop or the left spike mark. All right. Looks like all of our teams and officials are set. Red Alliance, are you ready? Blue Alliance, are you ready? Then let's begin the match in 3, 2, 1, go. Once again, we got C3 Robotics moving on Autonomous. The Autonomous has been incredibly consistent today, spitting out 2 pixels and parking in the backstage. No auto just yet from our other 3 teams, but I'm sure next week that will change. These teams are able to make a lot of progress in just 1 week's time.
controllers. 3, 2, 1.
4 robots off to the races as we begin our 9th qualification match of the day. PCM Alchemists, very quick, already scoring 3 pixels in just the first 7 seconds of teleop. Their alliance partner giving them a boost as well is Norwalk RoboWarriors Purple. Looks like they're going to just drop that one down in the backstage area. Already 4 points for blue. Meanwhile, though, the red alliance has matched that. There are 4 pixels in the red backstage, in addition to 1 on the backdrop. PCM Alchemist shoves another white pixel into the blue backstage. A.I.R going to the right backdrop this time. They've got a purple pixel, and that's going to go down, looks like, right next to that yellow one. They're trying to drop it. There they go. If they're able to get a green pixel on there, they could create a mosaic. That would net them a lot of points and help them get a victory in this match. Blue Alliance says, I don't think so, though. Norwalk RoboWarriors has got another pixel in their grasp. They're going to that Blue Alliance backdrop. Their partner, PCM Alchemist, has also continued to score a lot of pixels in the backstage area. They've got 6 back there right now. Looks like C3 Robotics making pretty good pace at picking up those pixels, spitting them out. Getting a little caught up there on the trusses. We've seen a lot of that today from all of our robots. Takes a lot of driver skill to get around this field successfully and efficiently. A.I.R has got another pixel from that wing at the front of the field. As we enter the end game, looks like they're going to speed over and try to get that up on their backdrop. If they've got time, I'm sure they'll be going for yet another drone launch. Another pixel on the Red Alliance backdrop. 2 yellow and 1 purple. Unfortunately, that is not a mosaic, but that's still going to get them a lot of points. And a drone launch from A.I.R. That is going to net them 10 points for being in that 3rd zone. PCM Alchemist content to park. We might have a hang from Norwalk. They've only got 3 seconds left. And time is up. I can't tell if it got off the ground or not. We're going to have to let our referees decide. We saw yet another successful drone launch in this match. I believe that's the 3rd one we've had today. This one by Team A.I.R. Although a majority of that drone is not in a zone, that wing is still in the 3rd zone, so that will net them 10 points. Only part of the drone has to be crossing that white tape line for it to count. Looks like we've already got the score for this match. It's going to go to the Red Alliance with a score of 51-16. Another very well-balanced match between the autonomous, driver-controlled, and endgame periods. Looks like based off that 5 endgame score for the Blue Alliance, the referees decided that Norwalk RoboWarriors Purple was not suspended from the rigging. Looks like they were just short. Another second or two, they probably would have gotten up there. But again, this is only a scrimmage. We just want teams to have a fun day today, get a lot of practice with their robots. Okay, we've got all 4 of our teams setting up for qualification match 10. After this, we only have 2 matches left. This day has truly flown by so far. If you want to see more robot action again, I'm going to do a shameless plug for next week's meet down in Norwalk. We'll have somewhere around 20 teams competing, doing 6 matches each. It's going to be a lot of fun, and it'll definitely be an even longer event. So if you want more robot action, head on down to Norwalk next Saturday. Yeah, was a shameless. What time is it? 2:10? Yeah. All right, all 4 teams already set up. They've gotten very fast at setting up so far. That only took them a minute or 2. Looks like we're getting ready to randomize the field. All right, field has been randomized. It's the center randomization, so those white pixels will stay right where they're at. All right, Red Alliance, are you ready? There we go. Blue Alliance, are you ready? Then let's begin the match in 3, 2, 1, go. And we've got G.O.A.T moving in autonomous once again. They've had that auto working very well today as they strafe into the backstage area for 5 points. None of our other teams are moving in auto just yet, but they all do appear to have pixels preloaded in their robots. So got the feeling we're going to see some early scoring once that teleop period begins here in about 5 seconds.
Drivers, pick up your controllers. 3, 2, 1.
And I see 3 robots moving in teleop, and now 4 as G.O.A.T gets going. I see both Blue Alliance robots, each pushing a purple and a yellow pixel into the backstage. 2 by West Central Valley and 2 by Martinsdale St. Mary's Techno Devils. That's going to give them some early points that could be crucial in deciding this match. West Central Valley's got another white pixel that they're going to use that broom to shove into the backstage. Looks like their partner's trying to pick up a white pixel from one of those stacks of 5 white pixels at the front of the field. Meanwhile, Bionic Dutch, they dropped 1 in the Red Alliance backstage. They've got a yellow 1 in their grasp. Looks like they're going to try to drop that onto the backdrop. They are successful at doing so. Now they're going to pick up that purple pixel and put that on the backdrop as well. Again, they've tried going for a mosaic in a lot of their matches today. I've got the feeling we'll see that again. Martinsdale St. Mary's Techno Devils going for one on the backdrop. Looks like they're close to getting it. It's just kind of stuck on their claw. They've got plenty of time left in this match, though. Ooh, it just slides off their claw. It still lands in the backstage, though, so that will give them points. So it was not without scoring. Looks like we've got Bionic Dutch going for a green pixel in that Red Alliance wing. They're at the front left corner of the field. If they're able to get that before this match is over and place it on their backdrop, they could complete a mosaic. Looks like G.O.A.T, their partner on the Red Alliance, is going to shove a white pixel into the backdrop here as endgame begins. We'll have to see if there's any drone launches or hangs attempted in this match. We've had a lot of those today so far, so I wouldn't be shocked if we're seeing even more. Bionic Dutch giving up on that green pixel. It just wouldn't go into their intake. Looks like they might go for a drone launch. It unfortunately hits the truss. It just barely got in the way, and that kept it from going over. 3 seconds left as G.O.A.T tries to get parked in the backstage. And time is up. Controllers down. All 4 teams stopping scoring just a little early to ensure they got those points for parking in the backstage area. And I've said it before and I'll say it again, we have another close match. Only 4 points separating these teams right now. So we'll have to see what the final scores look like.
Jack, let me go in there.
Our referees have indicated to the teams that they can turn off the robots and pick them up as we get to see the score. The scoreboard tells us that this is a Red Alliance victory with a score of 23-19. That one did prove to be another close match. With the conclusion of that match, we only have 2 left on the day, which means all of our teams will only play one more time. So I want to hear you cheering quite a bit for these teams as they play their last matches of the day. After that 5-minute break, we're getting our team set up for qualification match 11. As shown by the rankings just a minute ago, all of our teams have played in 5 of their 6 qualification matches. So this will be the last time that you see these teams today. So make sure you're cheering them on during these last couple of matches. With that, let's meet the teams. On the Red Alliance, from Stewart, Iowa, we have team 24662 West Central Valley. And their partner from Cumming, Iowa is team 19415 C3 Robotics. On the Blue Alliance, from Monroe, Iowa, we have team 18527 PCM Alchemists. And last but not least, from Pella, Iowa, we have team 13085 the Bionic Dutch. Looks like we've already got most of our teams ready for the match. Just getting those controllers connected so they're all ready to go once the match begins. Looks like we've got thumbs up from all the teams. So our tech crew is going to randomize the field. And it's going to be a left randomization. Haven't seen any scoring on the backdrops in auto just yet, but we've still got 1 or 2 matches left to go, so that could still change. All right, field has been randomized. Blue Alliance, are you ready? Red Alliance, are you ready? Then let's begin the match in 3, 2, 1, go. C3 Robotics, they're consistent and autonomous. Going straight into the backstage area, spitting out 2 pixels, and content to park. Again, I see pixels preloaded in all of our other robots too, so I'm sure we're going to see a lot of scoring once the drivers take control here in 5 seconds.
Drivers, pick up your controllers. 3, 2, 1.
As this match begins, my eyes immediately go to Bionic Dutch. I know that they're always quick with that purple pixel. They've already got on the backstage. Their alliance partner, one of the most efficient pushers I've seen so far this season, is PCM Alchemists. They've got 2 pixels there in the backstage as Bionic Dutch picks up a yellow one. Red Alliance, though, not being outdone. C3, another one of those fast intake and push bots, has put 2 in the backstage as their partner, West Central Valley, does the same. Bionic Dutch picking up a yellow pixel. I think they're going for that mosaic once again. That's been their strategy all day, and they've been quite good at it. That pixel just slides off, but they've got some more pixels there in their backstage thanks to their alliance partner, PCM Alchemists, that they're going to try to pick up as well. C3 Robotics spits 2 more into the backstage. I see, looks like at least 10 pixels in that Red Alliance backstage already. We've got just over a minute left in this match. We've got quite a few robots in that front right corner of the field. There's not a ton of pixels to go around in this game, so I'm sure as we progress throughout the season, we'll start seeing shortages of them. 2 more pixels in the Red Alliance backstage, courtesy of C3 Robotics, as their partner, West Central Valley, is going for 2 more in that Red Alliance wing at the front of the field. Bionic Dutch trying to pick up a pixel in that Blue Alliance wing. They've got a white one now. They're trying to push it along so they can take it over to their backdrop and get that scored. And the buzzer indicates that we have entered the end game. C3 pushes 2 more pixels into the Red Alliance backstage. They take one from their partner, who sets them up right next to the backstage for C3 to score. Blue Alliance still trying to pick up some of those pixels. And there's a successful drone launch for the Blue Alliance. That's going to net them 30 points. That's going to be huge in deciding this match. Red Alliance, knowing they need all the points they can get, picking up 2 more pixels, racing to the backstage, trying to get those scored as time expires. That drone launch by the Blue Alliance, huge, as that currently puts them in the lead 62-37. As you all know, though, our live scoring is not the final score, so changes can occur afterwards and penalties can be assessed. Our referee is very quick at scoring that match. Turn your eyes to the board, which tells us that the Blue Alliance takes it with a score of 62-37. A 30-point drone launch and a 10-point minor penalty. Truly what turned the tide of that match. Very good scores by both alliances. One of the highest scoring overall matches we've seen today. We need 3 here, Shubham. And then he's off. We need more there. Yep. Enough. With the help of our field reset team, our field has been prepared for the last match of today's Pollock League scrimmage. We've got our final 4 teams taking the field. And since today is only a scrimmage, just like our league meets, we will only be playing qualification matches. There will be no alliance selection or elimination matches today. All right, all 4 of our teams set up on the field. I'll start with the Blue Alliance this time, where we have team 12783, Norwalk RoboWarriors, purple. And their alliance partner, team 24572, G.O.A.T. Over on the Red Alliance, at the back of the field, we have team 22187, A.I.R. And their partner on the front of the field is team 18200, Martinsdale St. Mary's, Techno Devils. Our field has been randomized for the last time today to a left randomization. We'll see here soon what these teams have in store for this last autonomous period of the day. All right, field is set. Red Alliance, are you ready? Blue Alliance, are you ready? All right, these teams are definitely loud and ready for this last match. Audience, are you ready? Then let's begin the match in 3, 2, 1, go. 1 robot moving on autonomous. G.O.A.T's going to park in that backstage to put them with an early lead of 5-0. As we've quickly learned about the center stage game, though, things can change in an instant, especially with the ability to launch those drones and suspend from the rigging. Five seconds left in the autonomous period. I can tell those drivers are itching to get their hands on those controllers and take manual control of their robots.
Drivers, pick up your controllers. 3, 2, 1.
And teleop programs have begun. I see all 4 robots wasting no time getting their claws, hands, whatever you want to call them, on those pixels. A.I.R's got one on their backdrop already. Their alliance partner, Martinsdale St. Mary's Techno Devils, also trying to pick up a couple that they had preloaded in their robot. Norwalk RoboWarriors purple, though, for the Blue Alliance, also trying to get their own pixel on the backdrop. They've got a white one that they're trying to raise up there, while A.I.R places yet another one on the Red Alliance backdrop. Martinsdale St. Mary's pushes 2 into the red backstage. A lot of scoring by both alliances so far. as Norwalk RoboWarriors purple trying to pick up another yellow one, maybe a purple one. They're going to have to decide. Their alliance partner G.O.A.T trying to push a white pixel from the front of the field all the way to that backstage area. Currently just a 1-point match as we have a minute to go. Only 30 seconds till endgame. We'll have to see how these teams prepare for that. Norwalk RoboWarriors purple has a purple claw matching the purple in their name and purple claw on their robot. And that goes on the backstage, which is not purple, but still very cool nonetheless. They're trying to pick up another white pixel from the middle of the field. Something unique about this game is that the game elements are not team specific. Anyone can pick up any of the game elements. Norwalk RoboWarriors purple grabbing another pixel off the ground. They're content to put it in the backstage as the end game begins. Looks like A.I.R is going for another last second pixel. They knock 2 purple pixels off the backdrop, but get another white one on, so it is not all for naught. I see Norwalk RoboWarriors purple with 15 seconds to go, attempting to hang from the rigging. And looks like A.I.R trying to get another one on, unsuccessful. They're going to turn around park, maybe launch that drone. And that drone goes a little too far as Norwalk successfully suspends from the rigging and time expires. Give a round of applause to the teams in our last match of the day. All right, not much debate amongst our scorekeepers for that match. Seems they're in agreement about what happened. So we're going to see the score for that last match, which will go to the Blue Alliance with a score of 40-30. Once again, Norwalk's ability to suspend from the rigging proves crucial in the endgame period. And with the conclusion and score release of that match, that concludes our scrimmage for the Jackson Pollock League. I thank you all for coming today. I hope you had a great time. You guys are free to load up your stuff. If you'd like to help us out, pick up stuff, that would be awesome. Once again, we thank you for coming today, and we will see you in Norwalk next weekend for our first league meet.
If you would like to stick around and run a couple more matches, or you have something you want to test on your robot, we will leave the field up for a few minutes if you want to try that. It's up to you. Well, Thor will not be in any of these matches because Thor does not have a robot here, Savon. Sorry. You'll have to wait another week to see their reveal. Besides, I think one of them put some picture on Discord or something. Did you guys do that? Oh, they didn't put their picture on. Sorry. So if anybody wants to try, go ahead and bring your robot to the field if you want to try test anything before next week.